Hello, students. I was really excited to see your submissions of yesterday's assignment. I know it was a brand new tool to use with. Hopefully, you found it kind of like using the smartboard at school. It's very similar in the fact that you touch on things on the left-hand side to be able to draw or erase your mistakes. If you found it frustrating, let me know that too. I am just trying to find some ways that can help us show our understanding of the work that we're doing so that I can give you some grades. And also, so I am able to kind of track your progress on how you're understanding your goals. Because everyone in this group has got goals that we will send home reports on at the end of this 9 weeks about how you're understanding multiplication and division story problems. So I want to go back to that equal groups organizer idea. It looks like this, and the work that I saw on yesterday's paper was pretty good. I am going to not use this organizer today, but I'm going to be doing the drawing because my hope is that as we're doing these together as an activity, as a practice, not for a grade, that you are also at home with a pencil and paper and that you are drawing these organizers with me and that you are doing some of the thinking also. Parents, feel free to pause the video. Let your students do some thinking aloud. If they want to draw on their organizer and then push play to kind of check their work, that's also fine. We're gonna do, I don't know, 5 to 7 problems today, depending on our time. I'm gonna try to keep it at a reasonable pace because I know you have other things to do. So with that, I'm going to start and I'm gonna draw my top and my bottom. I'm not as worried about the place for the work to show the multiplication or division. But to make it short, we can do T for total. We can do number each. And at the top, we can do group, right? Or number of groups, because that's how many groups there are. All right, so just like we did when we did the adding and subtracting problems, I want you to kind of visualize the story in your head if you can while I read it. It says, Lori was playing a game of equal groups with her friend Natalia. On her first turn, Lori rolled a 6. So I want you to imagine Lori with a dice, could be virtual, could be a regular dice, and she rolled a 6, which means that's how many groups she had. Then she rolled a 5. So you should see Lori rolling a 5. And we want to know what was her total for that turn. Now, boys and girls, I know I've talked a little bit about it. But when we're talking equal groups, we're talking about either multiplying or dividing. And any time we're looking for the total, and you heard the question, so we already know that's our mystery number. We are multiplying. Okay, so let's fill this out. If Lori rolled a 6 on her first turn, that means that's how many groups there are. Now 6 is a bigger number than we might have had yesterday, but it is still even. So I can divide my bar in half, make 1, 2, 3 on this side, and 1, 2, 3 on this side, so that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts, or as equal as they're gonna get. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, mine is not, just close. So then Lori rolled a 5, and that is how many there are in each group. Now remember, when we're talking equal groups, we're using a groups of statement when we are multiplying. This symbol right here is a times symbol. But instead of thinking times, I want you to think groups of. So how many groups are there? There are 6 groups of 5, which means we are going to use our multiples. We're going to count by 5 6 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Lori's total for that turn was 30. Now Natalia also had a turn in this game. So let's go ahead and draw Natalia, an organizer for her. Again, it does not have to be perfect. Mine is not. If you need to pause the video to get yours drawn, you can. I'm going to put G for number of groups to make it a little bit easier. We're going to put our M for multiply and our D for divide out there so we can kind of keep that in our mind. Here's the second story. Natalia rolled a 4. And then she rolled another 4 when it was her turn. What was her total? Oh, there that is again for that turn. We know when we're looking for the total, that is a multiplication problem. Because when I'm looking for the total, I'm looking for a bigger answer, and division does not give me a bigger answer. So on her first roll, she rolled a 4, which means I'm going to divide this top bar into 4 equal parts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And her second roll was also a 4. So there's 4 in that part, 4 in that part, 4 in that part, and 4 in that part. And out to the side, I'm going to show my work. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 4 in each group. So I'm going to count by my 4s 4 times. 4, 8, 12, 16. So Natalia has a score of 16 on her first turn, and Lori had a score of 30 on her first turn. Wow. Well, it sounds like Lori's ahead in this game so far. All right, let's continue on. You're doing a pretty good job. I'm really proud of you. So after they finished the game, Lori and Natalia decided to make some bead bracelets. So they're not playing the game anymore, but we are still going to think of some equal groups stories. So I'm going to draw my organizer, T for total, my number symbol, number of each, and G, the number of G, which is our groups. Here we go. Eyes closed. I want you to think about it. After they finished the game, Lori and Natalia decided to make some bead bracelets. They made 4 bracelets. So in your head, you should see the girls, and you should see that they're making 4 bracelets. They put 7 wooden beads on each of those bracelets. So I want you to think about that. I want you to see those 4 bracelets in your head. And I want you to see 7 on the first one, 7 on the second one, 7 on the third one, and 7 on the fourth one. And we want to know how many wooden beads did they use in all. Now, boys and girls, if I want to know how many there are in all, what kind of question is that? Where does my mystery number go? It's very similar for how many did they have in total, right? And I know when I'm looking for the total in an equal groups problem, I am multiplying. Now let's go through and let's fill out the organizer for this story. So they had 4 bracelets. That is the number of groups, because in your head you should have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 bracelets. So I'm going to divide this top part into 4 equal groups. And it says they put 7 wooden beads on each bracelet. That means there were 7 beads for this bracelet, 7 beads for this bracelet, 7 beads for the third bracelet, and 7 beads for the 4th bracelet. Because I'm multiplying, how many groups are there? Well, the bracelets are the groups, so there are 4 groups of 7 beads. So I want to know how many beads did they use in all. So now we're going to count by 7 4 times. 7, 14, 21, 28. 28. Now, boys and girls, we're not talking about points anymore with this story. This is an actual story, and it is important that we put the right label on our number. Do you remember the question? The question was, how many wooden beads did they use in all? So my answer is not just 28, but 28 wood beads. And I'm not worried about you getting that spelled correctly. Even if you just wanted to put WB for wood beads, I'm fine with that. Just some kind of label, because when we do our progress monitor on this chapter of learning, you will get points for correctly using the label. And I want you to be able to have all the points that you can get. All right, let's move on to the next story. You guys are doing a really good job. So Lori discovered that some of the colored glass beads in the box of wooden beads. So I want you to see Lori looking in the box, and she sees some colored glass beads. Well, the girls ended up making 2 necklaces, and they put 10 colored glass beads on each necklace. How many glass beads did they use in all? So we're going to go back to the paper, and we're going to draw our organizer, which is pretty simple. To me, it's a little more simple than the addition and subtraction ones that we did. If you need to pause the video to draw it, again, you can. Okay, so in the story, almost forgot my multiply and divide. In the story, they're making necklaces. I heard that there were 2 necklaces. So in my head, I saw that there were 2 necklaces, which means I am dividing this into 2 equal parts. The story also said that there were 10 colored glass beads on each necklace, which means there were 10 on this necklace and 10 on this necklace. It wanted to know how many they used in all, which means we're looking for the total. And if we're choosing between multiply and divide, if I'm looking for the total, it is a multiply problem. So for my number sentence, how many groups are there? There were 2 necklaces, so 2 groups of, and there were 10 beads in each necklace, so 2 groups of 10, and I'm going to count by 10 2 times. Are you ready? 10, 20. Now 20 is talking about what? What did the question ask us for? How many glass beads? So there were 20 glass beads. How are you feeling about this so far? You feeling pretty good about it? I remember we worked on this a little bit right before the break, but we had just started it. So if you don't remember and you're having a tough time, hang in there, because we're gonna keep working on it, okay? All right, here we go. Let's do a few more and then we'll stop for the day. All right, 2 more problems. Let's go ahead and draw our organizers for problem 5. I'm gonna go ahead, actually I'm not gonna draw the next one. I may smudge it. All right, so we've got number of groups, we've got total, and the number in each group. Here we go. Oh, almost forgot. Multiply and divide. Well, Lori's big sister invited the girls into the kitchen for a snack. So I want you to see the girls in the kitchen. They're getting ready to have a snack. There were 8 orange slices for each of the 3 girls. So Lori's sister invited the 2 girls into the kitchen. Now in the kitchen there are 3 girls, aren't there? And that's how many groups there are. Because in the story I saw 3 girls in the kitchen. And when I looked at the girls in my head, I could see that they were each holding some orange slices. Did you see that? So I'm going to divide this bar into 3 equal, or close as I can to equal parts. 3 is an odd number, so it's a little bit harder, but it's not too bad. There were 8 slices for each girl. So 8 orange slices for this girl, 8 orange slices for this girl, and 8 orange slices for this girl. And I want to know how many orange slices in all. So again, my mystery number is looking for the total, which is a multiply problem. We are looking for the total. So now I'm going to write a matching number sentence. There are 3 girls, so 3 groups of, and each girl had 8 orange slices, so 3 groups of 8. And we are going to count by 8 3 times. Day 8, 16, 24. Now 24 is talking about what? What did the question ask us? It asked us how many orange slices in all? So this 24 is talking about orange slices. I am super proud of you right now. You're doing such a good job. Remember not to get frustrated. If you feel like I'm going too fast, the wonderful thing about technology is there's always a pause button. And I want you to use it, okay? We're gonna do one last problem together. And then on Monday, we will try to do some work with these equal groups problems, just like the ones we're doing today. All right, here we go. Well, after the snack, the girls decided to go ride their bikes. They rode around the block 5 times, and it took them 3 minutes each time. How many minutes did they ride in all? So in my head, I saw the girls, and I saw them riding around the block over and over again. And that, if you've ridden around the block on your bike before, you know it takes a little bit of time. 3 minutes is not very long. And I want to know how many minutes in all. So, what are my groups? Are the groups the number of times they rode around the block, or the 3 minutes for each block? You are right if you said the number of times around each block. 5 times. So we are going to, as best we can, divide this into 5 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it took 3 minutes to ride around that block, 3 minutes to ride around that block, 3 minutes to ride around this block, 3 minutes to ride around this block, and 3 minutes to ride around this block. And I want to know, how many minutes did they ride in all? There's that total question again. So boys and girls, hopefully you've noticed by now, these are all multiplication problems that we're solving today. All right, so let's go through and write a multiplication number sentence. I've got 5 times that I'm writing around the block, so 5 groups, and it's taking me 3 minutes each time. So 5 groups of 3. We're going to count by 3, 5 times. Are you ready? 5, 10, or no, I'm counting by threes. I apologize. See, even grown-ups make mistakes. Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So 15. And 15 is talking about the number of minutes. Sorry, it's really hard to tell my handwriting because the marker's a little bit big. I hope that this made sense. And if yesterday's lesson was a little confusing, hopefully the more we talk about this and do it together, it makes a lot of sense. I would love, love, love to see either a video telling me what you learned today, or even showing me your paper if you want to snapshot it with your parent's phone and put it into Seesaw. That would be super great. And this is our last lesson for this week. I can't believe that we've made it through one whole week of online learning. You are fabulous, and I hope you have a really great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather outside, and I will see you Monday morning. Bye-bye.